father, I think, really didn't have any resources. You know, and his generation was definitely all about, you know, financial, like working himself, well, basically to death, to financially support the family. Sure. And there was never any question in his mind about, you know, should I spend more time with my kids at home, or should I, you know, work myself to death? It was like there wasn't that equation. It was just like that's what he did, you know. And so.
And they in turn learned that from their fathers.
And it was even worse from his. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna say, like,
you know,
we're pretty lucky at this.
Well, and Bruce, you've shared, you know, kind of your dad's perspective, you know, growing up in the Depression and stuff like that. Yeah. So, you know, we've never really talked about, though, how those big shifts come about. You know, we talk about our lives on a day-to-day basis and, you know, growing as fathers, but we've never really talked about how those big shifts in priority and values from one generation to the next happen. Yeah. You know, I've certainly looked back at how my dad was like, and, you know, I want to emulate that, but not that. And maybe that's part of how it happens, but, you know, is it just the collective decisions to, you know, not be like our fathers that bring those shifts about?
You know, I think that it's sort of an evolving and very slowly evolving process from generation to. I mean, I think that certainly towards the end of my own father's life, you know, I began to see changes in him that I would never imagined I would see, as he started getting older and facing his own, you know, mortality and things like that, and he was also facing his own kids becoming adults and going out into the world and all of that. You know, I think those sort of rigid structures that he had built up began to crumble. I saw cracks in them, at least, you know, and that was interesting to see.
It'll be interesting to see how our kids.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I
know.
I know.
It's easy for us to, you know, look back with 20/20 vision, what we perceive as 20/20 vision, and you know, use our perception or our perception of our fathers and our perception of us as fathers as the benchmark. But it'll be interesting 20 years from now to see how our kids look at us as fathers and look at themselves as fathers or parents.